Teacher knowledge and behavior is the component of the model that focuses on teachers' knowledge of students and content and on their expertise in classroom management and pedagogy. Teacher knowledge is the element of teacher knowledge and behavior that encompasses knowledge of student characteristics and teachers' in-depth content knowledge and the blending of these to enhance learning. More information on this can be found in the Technology as Facilitator of Quality Education model.
And when we look at the graph, there's certain things about this graph that you have to remember before you can go through and put an equation or graph an equation. The four parts of the graph are called quadrants, and the first quadrant is where? Top right. This is quadrant 1. Quadrant 2 is where, Anthony?
The teacher's in-depth content knowledge is evident in her style of instruction. Her knowledge of the lesson content is reflected in her fluent and well-structured presentation and in her constant eye contact with the students. The teacher shows her knowledge of student characteristics by providing the best immediate learning environment for her students. She has organized the seating in her classroom so that the students can sit facing each other in groups. This arrangement is conducive to small group work. The students are learning about graphing linear equations in sloped-intercept form. They are each given two cards, one with an equation and one with an unrelated graph. The students must find the graph that matches their equation. In order to do so, the students must walk around the room and look at their classmates' cards. The teacher addresses the physiological characteristics of her students by integrating an activity that requires movement. This demonstrates the teacher's knowledge of student characteristics. After the students have each matched a graph with an equation, the teacher checks their comprehension. Conducting frequent evaluations of student work demonstrates the teacher's in-depth content knowledge.
That's what we're figuring out right now. Who has R9?
I got B9.
B9? No match. Are you serious?
Yeah. Why would I make that up?
You have V9?
B.
B. That doesn't match.
So somebody else in here don't match.
So you listen up. You're going to match up with somebody. You have B.
You're B9.
Who has B?
The instructor exhibits her knowledge of student characteristics by designing activities that address her students' multiple intelligences.
Say it again, louder. You're going to put it in slope-intercept form. So you're going to move everything around. Marcus was telling us how to move just his equation. So you're going to move it all around so that you have it in y equals mx plus b format.
Students have to practice manipulating linear equations into slope-intercept form, then graph them. They use their logical mathematical intelligence as they perform the algebraic operations necessary to convert the equations from one form to another and to plot their graphs. The teacher's in-depth content knowledge is evident in her interaction with students during class activities. She provides explanations and clarifications as she guides a student through the steps of manipulating an equation.
Don't do it right there. You're going to do it right here at the 6x and then on the other side of the equal sign.
I was wondering because your y got to be positive. You can't end up
That's right.
negative y. So it'll be 3y negative 12x equals.
Now how can that be negative 12x? You want to zero this out, right?
Also, we're going to add 6.
Very good. Now put it over here. Write it over here.
That should be 3.
No, go ahead and finish writing it. Write it all out.
The teacher demonstrates her knowledge of student characteristics by addressing her students' interpersonal intelligence. In groups, the students must collaborate to check each group member's work. As they compare their equations, the students have to explain algebraic concepts to one another. This demonstrates the teacher's knowledge of student characteristics.
If y is on the left-hand side, leave it there. So move everything else.
Okay, so add 6.
Move your hand. Yes, 6x.
I'll show you. I know how to do it. I know how to do it. Yeah.
So add 6.
The teacher's in-depth content knowledge is evident in her use of group work as an instructional strategy. She has the students interact in both small group and large group situations, and she keeps the pace of instruction lively by having the students change groups frequently. The students exercise their visual, spatial, and logical mathematical intelligences as they use the educational software program Green Globs and Graphing Equations. A coordinate plane on the computer screen is scattered with green globs. The students must write an equation for a line so that the line hits as many of the green globs as possible.